10 and 11 to take a look at the angle-angle similarity postulate. So first we're going to determine if the triangles are similar, and if they are, then we'll write a similarity statement. So in number 10, I've got two triangles, one on top, one on bottom, and this angle Z and this angle N are marked as 45 degrees. No other angles are marked. However, I've got two angles in here that I know must be the same because those are vertical angles. So now that I have two angles that are the same, that's enough for me to say that these triangles are similar, because we've got just two angles, and by that third angles theorem we could prove that the last one's also going to be the same as well. Okay, so we can say yes by the angle-angle similarity postulate, these triangles are congruent. So now let's write a congruent statement. So I've got one triangle, sorry, not a congruent statement, a similarity statement. One triangle is similar to another triangle. Okay, we've got to make sure that we put these in the right order. So let's just look at the top triangle, MNY. We'll call it that. We could call it something, you know, a different order, but for the first triangle, it doesn't really matter. MNY. Now we just got to match up the correct parts of that triangle. So M in the top triangle corresponds with, let's see, that's the one that's not really marked, so that must match up with X. N, which is the 45-degree angle, matches up with Z, so N goes with Z. And then the last Y in this triangle goes with Y in the second triangle. That's where I have my vertical angles. Okay, number 11 is very similar to this. We've been given some information. I see one angle here, 35, matches up with 35 here. I've got two other angles marked in here, 85 and 65. Those obviously don't match, so I don't have enough information at this point to say that they're similar by the angle-angle similarity postulate. It doesn't mean they couldn't be. Okay, so I've got enough information here to figure out what those last angles are, and those last angles might show me that I do have some things in common. Maybe yes, maybe no. Okay, so over here, 35 and 85 together add up to 120. That tells me my last angle in here has to be 60, so that they all add up to 180 degrees. If I do the same thing over here, 65 and 35 add up to 100, and this is going to be an 80-degree angle up here. So now I've got all the angles. Now I can legitimately look at this and see if I've got at least two angles that are the same. 35 and 35 is my only pair of angles that's the same. I don't have a second, and therefore I don't have a third pair of angles that are the same. So in this case, these triangles are not similar.